And I know a lot of you are very concerned about this. Well, I don't know if it's even been slow. I was about to say the slow disappearance of cash in the financial landscape. It might not even be slow. It might be quite quickly. During the pandemic, obviously, a lot of places started saying, oh, no, we don't want cash. We don't want to deal with anything that other people have touched or sneezed on or had up their nose, perhaps. But cash in the landscape is an interesting one. One bank is now going to be hiking fees to put cash, or when you go to put cash in your own account, 330% from next month. I didn't do that math, so it's probably right. So we're going to hear about that, who it is, what's going on there. And I want your tunes about something big, related to big in the title, big shot maybe. No one's requested any Billy Joel yet. Could be a big sound, which I think Julie from Orroroo, I think that's what you're after. It was a big band with a big sound that she's requested. Muzz has already got a song in that they've requested by Shirley Bassey. That's coming away. So that's got big in the title. You can get your requests in, anything big or to do with big. 0467 922 783. How about Mr. Big? It's all coming your way, so stick around here at ABC.
This week on Landline, the rain-fed rice of northern New South Wales.
Big groups like Mars Foods and Kellogg's are all out there trying to find low-emission rice to suit what they are trying to do. We have something that fits that mould, but we can't do anything about it.
And the Mount Isa Rodeo.
All of the best in Australia turns up. It's hard to win a cheque.
That's Landline, Sunday 12:30 on ABC TV and streaming on ABC iView.
On your radio, on your smart speaker and on the ABC Listen app.
ABC Listen app.
This is ABC Radio South Australia and Broken Hill with Emma Pedlar.
Where is all the cash going? And if you're keeping it under your bed, would you think about putting it into the bank? Maybe not if you have to pay even more than before. Last week, it was the Macquarie Bank making headlines after they announced they were phasing out access to cash at all of its banks in the next year. Today, it's the Commonwealth Bank who has said it will charge business customers $10 to put your cash into your own account. Currently, it's a $3 charge, going up to $10. It just blows my mind that you can actually be charged money to put your own money into your own account. So it got us all thinking about the topic of cash in general, how you are feeling about the power of using cash slowly being taken away. Jane Monica Jones is a financial therapist and joins us. Good afternoon.
Hey, Emma, nice to be here.
A lot of people are really concerned about this. Is this, just this disappearance of cash from the financial landscape? Because in the last 5 years, we've gone from using it to not using it much at all.
Yeah. Look, I think it just really brings up that piece around, our financial autonomy or how that's being taken away from us. We work hard for our money every day, and I suppose people really feel like they want to have a right to managing the money in the way that they want to manage it. And when we have these big organisations such as bank that are slowly gouging us, not just in charging us to put our own money into our account, but everywhere with fees and ATM and all that sort of stuff, it just sounds pretty unfair to me.
It's interesting, isn't it? Because cryptocurrency came into the scene a while ago, and that was an online version of money. You didn't often well, people didn't often get it out of their accounts. I know that some people did, but they didn't often do it that way. It was more used for trading online. So it was kind of in that virtual space. And it almost feels as though our hard-earned money is going the same direction. It's living now in a virtual space.
Yeah, and that's, that has its advantages and it also has its disadvantages. We know that, I can see in a way what these banks are doing is that they put up the excuse that, we're combating money laundering, we're combating maybe the cash economy and help servicing the government in this way. But in a way, there's also safety. One of the big risks that we all have at the moment is if we lose our phone, we lose access to, our devices. There's potential for hacks and there's potential for, identity stuff. And so this is kind of the difficult place of being in the digital world, Cash, in a way, is that safety that we often long for around our financial experience. And when that's taken away and it's been removed for us and then we're being charged for the privilege, it's kind of tough,
Yeah, well, you mentioned there, people getting worried about losing access. So when scammers somehow can get into your device and things like that, we've heard about really significant amounts of money being scammed from people in things that are very well put together. Scams. So they're doing things like accessing your email and changing an invoice you might have received to just a different bank number.
Yeah,
and things
that's
like
right.
that. Are people coming to you with anxiety issues about this?
Yeah, it's in a way, it's kind of that I call it anger. It's kind of a healthy anger that you go, hang on, I work hard for my money. I may have a level of diligence that I do to manage it, and then yet I'm being gouged left, right, and centre for the monies that I own. And it's the lack of choice, I think, that frustrates a lot of people. The power that we do have with our money is that we can use it to we can move if we don't want to be with Commonwealth or if you don't want to be with Macquarie Bank, use your money as that sort of your voice, basically. Move it to other organisations or other banking instruments or credit unions, local credit unions that don't do that. So we do actually have a power by our purchasing, by our investment, that we can make decisions about how our banking experience is.
Are people worried about that access to their own cash?
Yeah, look, that's always a sort of a historical thing. Even when we think about depressions, 100 years ago or so, we want to have that access and that liquidity if we need to. And in Australia, we have quite a good system that, up to 250K sitting in a bank account is covered by the government, so that, essentially we wouldn't really have the risk of having a run on the bank. But so that's, real assets as long as you've got, evidence of it if the digital experience goes down. There's certainly in regional areas, when there's blackouts, when there's brownouts, people can't access their money. And I think that's a real problem of which we're being dictated to by certain, banking structures. So I think it's a problem. Particularly, Australia's a big country of which we still have blackouts and we still have brownouts. We have flooding, bushfires, all this sort of stuff that it can actually knock out the electronic and digital infrastructure, and then we can't actually go and buy some milk, because the ATM's not working. So it's tough. Yeah. I think it's really tough.
Well, I know the other day up in the community of Ceduna, we heard, for the community safety, the powers that be turned off the electricity to the community because of the winds and things like that, saying that they really were concerned about the impact of or the possibility of fires, so they turn the infrastructure off. So, yeah, we do know that unless you've got generator power and things like that, you might not then have your access to cash because the ATMs might not be working. You might not be able to go and pay that bill that you needed to pay or go do what you needed to do. So, yeah, it can be an issue. How about even people who have difficulties with technology or access to that?
Yeah, and that's a big issue, that inclusivity. Of course, younger generations that have lived their life in a digital way are really nimble about, applying or using new systems or new, interfaces or whatever it is around our banking, around our insurance, around our subscriptions, all that. But of course, there's, let's say, older Australians that, it's just something that's kind of been thrust upon them, and, they're having to kind of speed up. And it's not surprising that large swathes of that demographic particularly get scammed, get, bombarded and all that sort of stuff, and are losing real hard cash. So it's a challenge, and of which, why do we have to have such rigidity on it? I get it. It's probably good business sense that the more that you reduce man on the ground having to fill up ATMs and having bank branches, they're overheads that these organisations need to cover. But as a customer experience, I don't know. There's still, we want to connect. We still want to have access. We still want to have flexibility, and we want to have choice.
I know different people with different visual abilities, that there's certain things that you can feel on different notes and coins, but obviously in the virtual world, you've got to have some kind of device that is talking to you out loud. I'm guessing. I'm not even sure how that works, but yeah, it brings up a lot of questions, I guess, about ability and, like you said, accessibility and inclusivity to people in the community. So for you as a financial therapist, how then, what advice would you give to people who were worried about losing that accessibility to cash?
Yeah, look, I mean, again, as I said, do it with your dollars. If your bank is not giving you the service that you want and giving you the access, totally move banks. I know there are lots more regional banks that are a lot more flexible. And there's certain banks that are actually gone, we're opening branches rather than closing them. Use your money for good. Use your money for the values that you have. And I really, empower people to do that. And, again, it's the same thing with that whole thing around the banking High Commission inquiry and all the stuff that came out of that. It's about your legislators. These organisations need to be held account of the people that they serve, and we have rights here in Australia. So again, use that to stand up, get your policymakers in your local government to say, are we back here where we were with the Royal Commission around banking? This is not right. So use that healthy anger to take a stand. That's my total encouragement.
If you're feeling write a letter.
That's it, exactly. Totally.
Jane Monica Jones, thank you so much for being with us on this Friday afternoon.
Thank you, Emma. Good talking to you.
Have a great weekend. Financial therapist. There you are, 19 minutes after 4. How are you feeling about the possibility of headed towards what might be a more cashless society? It's changed pretty rapidly, hasn't it? And with rapid change, obviously, not everyone likes it. Things are different, so they can be uncomfortable for a long time. Thank you to Colleen and Berry, who texted in saying, I know Rosalie Richards, who teaches Aboriginal language at Lee Creek School. Thank you, Colleen, for texting in. We were speaking about Lee Creek just before 4 o'clock today. And a lot of requests coming in for tunes. Thank you so much.